In this video, we're going to discuss an object's identity. So every time you create a new object in Python, it has a specific location in your computer's memory. It's stored somewhere physically in zeros and ones at a specific address. So the address is how you can locate this particular object in your computer's memory. So the address is fairly similar to, say, the address of a house, like in this neighborhood that you see in this picture. So each one of these houses has a unique address so that you can uniquely identify it. So we know how to get to this house, mail to this house or that house. We can think of the objects that we create in Python as having a unique address in our computer's memory. So when we go to a specific address, well, we find that object. Now, just to show you that this is the case, we can use the ID function to find this location, and we'll return the address of that object. So the address is not given as a street and city and state and zip code. It's just given as some integer value that represents the address. Okay, so let's say we're going to use the ID function, and it's pretty similar to use as the type function. We just type in ID, then open and close parentheses, and then inside of here we will place some object, say the number 99. All right, so this is an object in Python, and we can go ahead and if we run this, we'll get some location in our computer's memory. So it's not important what these numbers mean, it just uniquely identifies some location. So just think of it as an address of a house. So at this particular house, the object or the integer 99 is stored. Now you can also do this with other objects. So you say a float 123.89. I will create this object 123.9. I will assign it to the variable name b, and then I can pass b into the ID function, and this will return a different address. So at this address is stored this float over here. Now, Python is interesting in that you can overwrite variable names. So we can reassign b to the variable or the value, say 4.5. It could be anything we want. And now this might be a little surprising. When we take the ID of b, we'll get a completely different address. They start off the same, but you can see that this ID is different than that ID. And the reason is that because the variable name is not what is stored in Python. It is the value. This is the actual object. The variable name in Python is just like a label for this value. I know that's a little tricky to understand, but really the object is 4.5. The object is not b. B is just like a label. You can think of like your name as a label for yourself. So your name itself is just some words, like my name is Teddy, and that is just 5 letters. But it helps. But it's a label for me. I'm a physical human being, with cells and different characteristics, and I'm in some location on Earth. So you can think of as the label, like my name Teddy, as just a label for who I am. Doesn't mean all the atoms in my body. Just like this variable name b is simply a label for the actual underlying value, which is this float 4.5. So the ID of b is just useful to figure out, okay, where is 4.5 located? Well, it's located at this address. We've just reassigned this label for it. Okay, so it's like we moved houses, different locations, but you just use the same label to represent it. Okay, so that's how you can find an object's identity in Python, is with this ID function. You can either pass in the value directly or pass in a variable name.